In this English pronunciation tutorial, you're going to discover the top 10 words that you need to know for employment in English. So if you're going to get a job in the UK or the US or any other English-speaking country around the world, or if you're getting a job in an international company where English is the language that's used, or if you're a manager who recruits staff using the English language, then these 10 words are going to be essential for you communicating confidently and clearly in the interview process and when you're discussing employment. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pronounce each of these words, and I'm also going to show you any common mistakes that non-native speakers often make with these words. And then if you want to see how to actually take these words and integrate them into your English speaking just like a native, then in the videos that you're going to watch after this, you're going to see how you can use the British accent method to do this by applying connected speech, intonation, and everything else that you need to know to use these words just like a native. And this is going to give you more confidence. It's going to enable you to be more like the real you when you're speaking English, and also to make sure that you're communicating confidently in job interviews so that you're getting the jobs that you know that you're capable of. Let's dive in and get started with these top 10 words that you can use for more confidence in employment in English. The first word is employ. For example, I'm going to employ a new member of staff. And the reason why we're starting with this word is because this word is built on with many other words in English. Employment, employed, employment liability. There's lots and lots of different words that all build around this word employ. So let's get started. It's spelt with the letter E, but it's pronounced with the I vowel sound. Employ, employ, employ. Okay, just make sure that when you make this word, the first syllable is unstressed and the second syllable is stressed. Employ, employ, employ. This also applies if you're using the words employment, employment liability, self-employment. Okay, we want to make sure that we're stressing that ploy. The next word is P.A.Y.E, which is a shortening of the phrase pay as you earn. So if you're going to be employed by a company, there's two ways that it can happen. You can actually be properly employed by the company, and if that's the case, you'll normally be paid under what's known in the UK as P.A.Y.E, pay as you earn. This refers specifically to tax purposes, whereby your tax is deducted from your salary each month. So the money that actually arrives in your bank account is after the tax that you're going to pay. This is the opposite to self-employment, where you normally earn all of your salary over the course of the year, and then you pay a lump sum at the end of the year, or you might end up splitting your payments of tax into 2 installments over the course of the year, but it's different to P.A.Y.E. Okay, so P.A.Y.E, this is how you'll normally earn your money if you are a standard employee on a normal contract, okay? And the mistake that you need to be aware of here is not making the P sound without aspiration. You want to make sure that when you say P, your P sound is aspirated, okay? If you want a comprehensive guide to aspiration on the P consonant, then make sure to watch this video up here. This is one of the most commonly mispronounced consonant sounds in English because of aspiration, so make sure to look into that. And when we put it back into the phrase P.A.Y.E, 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 you're basically saying the letter P, the A diphthong, the word Y, and then the long vowel E. P.A.Y.E. The next word is self-employed. And if you run a small business in the UK, or probably in most countries around the world, then you may well be self-employed. That means you work for yourself. Okay, if you run a larger company that is your company might be what's called a limited company, and then you would be employed by your own company, okay, as a director or a CEO. But if that's not the case and you're not a limited company, then you're probably going to be self-employed. So this is an important word to be aware of, because you also might find yourself working for other companies where you are self-employed. 2 times in my career before I started teaching pronunciation full time, I worked self-employed. Even though I was working for companies, I was contracted as a self-employed worker. Okay, so it's an important word to know, and the word here is self employed. We've already looked at the word employ, so all we're going to do is add the ed ending onto this word, which in this particular scenario is just the D sound. Employed, employed, employed. And then we're going to add the word self in front of it. Self-employed, self-employed, self-employed. I'm self-employed. The next word is contract. Whenever you get a job, you're going to get a contract. That might be a fixed term contract, which means that it's just for a period of time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. Or it might be a long-term contract where there's not an end date on it. Okay, so what we need to be aware of here is that we put the stress on the first syllable. When we use the word contract as a noun, it's important that we stress the first syllable because we can also use this word as a verb, but then the stress moves to the second syllable, which would sound like contract compared to contract. In this video, we're only looking at the word contract. Okay, so stress on the first syllable, con, and then with the second syllable, I want to make sure that you're not letting your tongue touch the roof of your mouth for the R sound. Okay, contract, contract. We don't want to say contract, which would be very, very, very common for a lot of non-native English speakers because the R sound in most languages, the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. It doesn't in English. Contract. Contract. In the same video that I teach the aspirated P sound that I mentioned in the word before, you can also learn how to pronounce the R sound without letting your tongue touch the roof of your mouth. The next word is statutory. This is quite a challenging word. It might feel a little bit unnatural, so if you're having difficulty here, it's not your fault. But statutory is an important word because it's used in various different scenarios in employment. You have statutory sick pay, you have statutory holiday, you have statutory maternity leave if you're going to have a baby, or if you're the father of the baby, you have statutory paternity leave. So statutory is a very important word. It's not often pronounced. It's often shortened to just the letter S, and I'll get to that in just a moment because that's going to be in the next words we're going to look at. But first of all, how do we pronounce this word? It's actually quite a difficult word because there's 4 syllables in it. The primary stress is on the first syllable. Statch, statch, statch. The next syllable is just the schwa, stature, stature, stature. Then the next syllable is tur, tur, tur. You kind of have a schwa sound there, but you could also get away with using what's called a syllabic consonant and letting the R sound last the length of the word. Stature, stature. And then finally the E vowel sound at the end. Bringing it all together, you get statutory, statutory, statutory. And then what that would sound like in the context of a larger phrase is statutory sick pay or statutory maternity leave. Okay, and this leads us nicely onto our next 3 words because what we get is in employment, we get statutory sick pay, maternity leave, paternity leave, and holiday, just like I mentioned. But we don't normally say in employment, your statutory sick pay is this. What we'd normally say is your SSP is this. We just simply pronounce the first letters of these words. So SSP would be statutory sick pay. SMP would be statutory maternity pay. SPP, statutory paternity pay, would generally be if you are the father of the baby or the partner of the person that has had the baby. Okay? So we've got 2 of the most important words coming up. But before we get to them, the next word is pension. 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 Okay, that's what you're going to rely on when you leave work and stop working for your income. Okay, pension. The mistake you don't want to make here is with the P sound. Again, you want to make sure that it's aspirated because this can really affect the sound of your speech and affect your confidence if you're not aspirating it. Okay, so pension. Pension. Stress on the first syllable and the second syllable is unstressed. Pension. Okay, and then you could use the word pension in a couple of different scenarios. In many companies, when you join them, you get offered the opportunity to join the company pension scheme, where you can essentially have additional deductions of your salary each month that go to the pension scheme, which ultimately leads to a second pension in addition to what you might get as a state pension when you retire. So in this word, what we've got is pension contributions. Pension contributions. Pension contributions. What can cause difficulty in contributions is a few things because it's quite a long word. Particularly, I want to make you aware of bu, the B consonant followed by the Y consonant. Bu, followed by a weak, unstressed syllable, shuns, butions, contributions. The secondary stress in this word is on the first syllable con, so you get pension contributions. The reason why I'm highlighting these stressed syllables and the weak syllables is because this is really important for developing a natural English rhythm, okay? English rhythm is very different to the rhythm in a lot of languages, and if you want to speak like a native, understanding where the stressed syllables are and the unstressed syllables are is essential in helping you to achieve this, okay? So we've got pension contributions, and what you might get offered when you join a new company is if you want to sign up to their pension contributions. The next two words are the two words that we really like to talk about when we are working for a company. And those two words are salary and wage. They basically mean the same thing. If I say, what is your salary? That is how much money are you earning? The other word, which basically means the same thing, is wage or wages. You might say, my wages are good or my wages aren't great. Let's get into the pronunciation of both of these words. The first word is salary. Stress on the first syllable. Salary. Again, make sure your R, the tongue doesn't touch the roof of your mouth. It's not salary. That could sound like celery, which is a salad item. Okay. Salary. Salary. Make sure you've got a nice vowel sound on the first syllable there, and then your tongue doesn't touch the roof of your mouth for the R sound. Salary. For wages, stress again on the first syllable, wage. This time, make sure you're making a W sound, ooh, and not a V sound where your bottom lip is touching the top teeth. It's not wages, it's wages. And both of these words are to do with the money that we earn. Okay? So those were the top 10 words. I'm now going to give you a bonus word, which you can also use and is good to be aware of in the company environment. And the bonus word, ironically, is bonus. So in many companies, you may get a Christmas bonus or a performance bonus. And what you want to make sure is that when you're saying the word bonus, you're using the O diphthong. One of the most common mistakes that people have difficulty with in English is pronouncing the O diphthong as a short O vowel sound. So instead of bonus, instead what I hear is bonus. And that can sound unnatural to native English speakers. Okay, so we really want to make sure that for the bonus on that first syllable, we're pronouncing the O diphthong where it lasts. And on this channel, I've got quite comprehensive training on the O diphthong because it is so important to your confidence in English. Okay, now before we get to the end of the video, these 10 words are vital for communicating confidently when you're talking about accountancy or when you're talking about employment, okay? These are real words that you will use in your profession or have people say to you, be it your manager or the HR department or the finance department, in regards to your work. So it's really, really important to have confidence with these words. And that's why I've given these words to you today, because I really want you to have confidence with these words when you're using them in your English. Remember, I'm fighting for your confidence in English because I believe that you deserve confidence like a native. And the best thing that you can do right now to continue your journey to achieving confidence like a native is to watch this video here, where you're going to learn exactly how to pronounce the consonant sounds that I explained in this video that are the ones that affect your confidence in English. These are the most challenging consonant sounds in English. So check this video out right now. It's the best advice you can use for continuing your journey to speaking English like a native. And I'll see you here in just a second.